house. And like, I get it if you have a lot and you have a lot of animals coming and going, but I don't. Her best friend is a like 30-year-old horse that's will never leave our pasture because he's just living his retirement. But they test for tuberculosis and brucellosis, which can go rampant if you're in a dairy that's not being kept clean and nice, because dairy cows weren't designed to be in a big dairy with tons of cows. They were designed to be out in the country by themselves, 1 or 2 cows on a family farm. So when they all get together, just like when people get together, everybody gets sick.
Yeah. When did they start doing it, Sturman? We never had anybody check our cows.
It's only if you're selling it. Raw milk
we
is,
sold the whole town.
I'm not sure. It was back when they started really pasteurizing a lot of stuff and things.
And there was a lawyer involved.
But it was back, there was somebody who, because they, you know, people used to get their milk from people out in the country, and they're like, oh, it's more convenient to have the cows be in town. So they brought them in town, and they didn't keep their places clean. And what happens if you don't keep stuff clean, no matter what you're doing? You're gonna get sick, regardless of whether it's milk or your vegetables. If you don't have a clean place to grow them or keep them, they're gonna get sick. And so then people started dying because people weren't cleaning their cows and keeping their places clean. And so then they're like, oh, it's easier to pasteurize than put all the cows back out in the country because it's more convenient for the people. And so that's where pasteurization came from. And so, I don't know. I'm passionate about raw milk. I won't go on my spiel. I'll try not to. But if you want to talk more about it, I'll gladly tell you.
How long does raw milk last?
As long as you can handle the tang. Raw milk doesn't technically go bad. What I do, you'll see in some of my books that it calls for clabber. Has anybody ever heard of clabber? So it's like a sourdough version of milk. And to make clabber, I have a jar like this on my counter, and I set it there. Unfortunately, mine wasn't coagulated today because I fed it and I didn't plan well, sorry guys. But it looks like, kind of looks like yogurt. It'll just go kind of together. It goes solid. And so it has a little bit of a tang to it. Some people, it's like milk, but even better for your gut health. Like people just eat it by the spoonful. And that's what I use to make my milk, because then that way I'm not buying, because that's what makes milk expensive, is you have to buy freeze-dried cultures. It's either mesophilic or thermophilic, depending on which one you're making, but clabber naturally has both. So I just pour a cup in my milk when I make it and add the rennet. And that's...
She's asking how long it was fresh now.
But yeah, it'll stay as long as you can handle the tang.
Okay.
Like my family and people have told me we can handle it for about 2 weeks. And about 2 weeks it gets a little tangy. And my kids are like, Mom, it tastes funny.
Do you store it in the fridge? Like regular milk? Okay.
Yeah, I have some right here. I store mine in glass jars.
Okay.
And I take it right from my cow and I run it through a strainer right into a jar. I have a little, it looks like a huge funnel, and I just take it from my bucket and I pour it right in there. And then I put them in my fridge.
And the cream comes to the top.
Why do you string it? Why do you string it?
Just in case there's like
Oh, I see.
when I'm walking it, I inevitably have a couple little pieces of hay because I fed my cow hay that morning, or it just gets out.
A bug will fly in.
Or I'll be honest with you, sometimes there's a cow hair in there because she's shedding right now, and inevitably you can't stop those. But it's not anything that is hurting you. Like I strain it through. It looks like a coffee filter, but it's made for my milk strainer. But it's no more than this. Like it's just enough to get any hay off of me or off of her. But I always clean her off really good and make sure there's nothing on her. And
that doesn't strain out any cream?
no, because when it comes out of the cow, it's all mixed together. It doesn't separate until you set it somewhere. So you can kind of see it on this one. So that's my cream line right there. And I don't do anything fancy to make my butter. I have my mom's really old gravy like ladle that she was gonna get rid of, and that's what I use to pull my cream out. And then I put it in my Bosch mixer because I am not gonna sit there and do that. And so I just put it in my mixer and make butter.
And then you tell how you wash the butter. You don't just make the butter and take it out. You have to wash it.
Yeah, and then I thought about doing butter, but I was like, that might be too much. So But yeah, you have to take it and you have to run it under cold water and give your hands a brain freeze to get all of the extra stuff out.
When I used to make butter, I would drain out the whey, and then I would put it back in the blender or the bowl, and I put cold water in it and drain it, and cold water drain it. That way you don't have to put your hands and freeze them.
I usually just push it to push it out, cause I'm, honestly, I leave mine because butter goes faster at room temperature. And so if you use really cold cream, it'll take longer to mix. And so I set mine out, and then it's, I guess, technically considered fermented butter, even though it's only been out just enough to get room temperature, so I only have to mix it for like 5 minutes or less. And it's usually like right before I go to bed, and I'm like, oh, I have cream. And so then I try to do it fast, and then I can handle it so I can go to bed. So, but if I were on top of it, I would probably do it that way. All right, so if you guys want to, we can try this if you're brave enough. Yes.
Can you start it all over, cause I didn't press the record?
Let's go.
I'm so sorry and I'm so sad, because it was so good.
We're gonna have
Anyway.
another gallon of milk if you want me to start again.
Well, I got the last 6 minutes of it, so you'll at least know who you are.
We'll have to share our pictures with you.
I should have.
Just for people to try